Kurapika once again showing that he's better than Sasuke and stabbing the dinosaur turtle strawberry monster in the eye.
All right, first impressions of Hunter x Hunter so far. I am 12 episodes in. We just finished the third trial test thing. Going into the series, I actually knew very little. I don't know what hunters are. And as for the characters, I knew about Gon and Killua. Don't know if I'm saying that right, even though I'm watching the anime this time. I'll get it eventually. I know like ride or die, best friends. I knew that was a thing, and that's pretty much all I know about their characters. I also knew white-haired one Killua is an assassin, but that's all I had. And I know that somebody brings a shovel to a fight to dig a grave in the future. I know this because there's a joke. It's like, such and such brought a shovel, Shikamaru already dug the hole. So that's pretty much my knowledge of this series so far. I also know that one of the characters, Sasuke, is heavily inspired by one of them. It's Kurapika, and I will take any opportunity to slander Sasuke's name. So, love this man, love Kurapika just because he is better than Sasuke. So I will take every opportunity to say that.
Side note, it's probably Kurapika, not Kurapika, but I'm going to get the names after I get through the introduction. I'll figure it out eventually.
So, starting with, before I get into the plot and what I liked and all that, character-wise, Gon. I should probably switch to the English so I can actually hear the names a little bit easier, but regardless, Gon. The sweetest little bean. I love this man, or this child, so very much. He's just sweet and innocent and taking everything at face value. Absolutely adorable. Love him already. And obviously, Killua, you have this assassin with this dark, mysterious past going on and this family history that I can't wait to see. Like, he stabbed his mother and his brother's trying to kill him, I think, or his family members are trying to kill him because he ran away because he doesn't want to be assassin. He doesn't want to be in the family business. He just wants to live his own life and do his own thing and be a child. So he sees Gon and they're, he's just, hey, a kid like me during these crazy exams, let me instantly become his best friend. Let me teach him to skateboard. Let's run together. We'll make a bet on who's going to pay for dinner. Hey, that's a cool fishing rod. They have a pillow fight at one point in time. And then you also have these moments where he just kills people, slaughters them, heartlessly and cold and brutal. No big deal, means nothing to him. And then back to laughing and playing with Gon. Gon. It is Gon. Anyhow, no, I love the two of them so very much, and I can't wait to see more. Kurapika, with his backstory, his clan being slaughtered, stolen for their eyes, his hatred of this phantom troop, and he's a little bit more reserved, but extremely powerful. I love him. I love him so much. Do you know why I love him? He's better than Sasuke. Really hate that man. And then you have, what? Leroy, or I just call him Leo, and I hate this man so very much, like unreasonably so. He's pissing me off. Okay, so number one is just going to be, first he's introduced as, oh, I want to become a hunter for money. And he was willing to let Gon and Kurapika go off on their own. He was going to take a bus, leave them, like, yep, we didn't know each other, we're parting ways. I've already fought with you once. I'm going to go direct route to the hunter exams. Oh, realizes it's a trap. Go back with them because they're useful and he doesn't know what else to do. And then it's just like later revealed, oh, it's not just that he wants money. It's that he realized that money can buy people and save lives or cost people their lives. So his friend had a curable disease but couldn't afford the surgery, so he died. He wanted to be a doctor so he can help and save people and treat them with no cost. Only to realize to become a doctor, you need money. So he's like, if I become a hunter, I'll be rich and none of these terrible things will happen to me. Very noble, very honorable, very reasonable. I like that reasoning and motives. Okay, money makes the world go round. He's going to play into that. Make sure he and those close to him and that he cares about can have a good life. Cool. Except, like, he's judging Killua for wanting revenge. And making a snide comment at one point in time, I think. I mean, don't really care about the clan. And then later, he sacrifices the hours that they have, gambles it away during one of the tests, um, therefore hurting the entire group. One of the tests was just to feel a girl up. Like, he could have bet a lot, said, yeah, girl, and then moved on. But no, he said, I bet you're a boy. And when she said, no, I'm a girl, it's like, oh, well, I have to check. So he wanted to feel her up, and he knew that. Um, I, and then after sacrificing those hours, gets to the end, and they don't have time to take the long path because he wasted 50 hours. He gambled them away, or he lost them. He doesn't take responsibility for losing those hours. And then he's like, we only have time for 3 of us past. 2 have to stay behind. I'm going to be one who gets through, even though I'm the reason we can't take the longer path. I get it, like, anyone could have lost the gambling game, but he specifically gambled 10 hours at least and lost them like that. And then he screwed up with rock, paper, scissors. He psyched himself out. He couldn't have picked some other thing that he could gamble with. I feel like he could have thought things through better with that gambling one. Regardless, I don't like him at this current time point. One of my coworkers has watched Hunter x Hunter with her daughter, and she says I will like him in the future. And I believe her, so hopefully I don't hate him shortly. I also feel the need to mention Tompa, the big nose guy whose goal is like to screw up all the newbies. Not to say too much about him, but I'm pretty sure we're going to reveal that he had been like some bright-eyed newbie at the first thing, and the exams trampled him down. He kept coming back, but he kept failing, and now he makes it his life mission to fail all the other incomers. And it's just like, yeah, I can see that being his thing. Like, he lost all his hope, and now he's spiteful, and he's trying to project that pain and loss on everyone else because he couldn't succeed at this Hunter exam, so why should anyone else? I can see that happening. The only thing I'll say in terms of a criticism for the plot so far is I don't overly like when a series starts with a tournament exam. I like to have a little bit more time with just the core characters, flesh them out a little bit, just establish their dynamics, and then use the tournament arc to introduce all these other supplemental characters. I feel that's when it really shines. And we did kind of get that. We got a couple episodes with Jess Gon and Killua and Leo, and just them getting to the exam, which really worked to establish their characters. I think they got a good couple moments there, but I just would have preferred a full arc of just the core characters. However, that probably means we wouldn't have got Killua right away, and I will never accept that. So, you know what? It's good we got to the exam right away. I'm not complaining. I retract that complaint. I also enjoyed the small moments just like of psychology that was introduced. So talking about how the majority of people like turn right, therefore the right path is probably the harder one because most people would instinctively just go that way, so let's go left. I like how they were breaking down the psychology of rock, paper, scissors. So there was good little moments there. And I'm wondering if it's going to play out more or less or anything like that in the series. There was also a moment where during the preliminary, we'll call it, test, where the lady comes and she gives them like an impossible questions. Like, who do you save, a young person or an old person? Or who do you save, your son or your daughter? Or between these 2 loved ones, which ones would you save? And obviously the correct answer is you don't answer. It's an impossible choice, and that's the purpose. And Gon is really struggling with it. So he passes because he doesn't say anything. He makes no choice. But he's reflecting back, I don't know what I would do in that situation. If 2 of my loved ones were in danger, how would I choose who to save? And the examiner lady is just like, that is the point, to make you reflect and think about this. So I was like, he understands the purpose of this test. He clearly passed. And I would only assume that at some point there's going to be a moment where he has to choose who to save, and how he's going to react to that is going to be interesting. All right. So let's look into the plots, more or less, plot beat by plot beat, a little bit broader overlooking. So we have Gon, who, again, the sweetest little bean. His aunt has promised him that he can take the hunter exam with her blessing so long as he catches this giant fish sea swamp king thing, which is pretty much an impossible task. The only person who's ever caught it in the past was Gon's. Yeah, Gon's father when he was a kid, and this little 13-year-old boy plants his feet, goes with the fishing rod, gets the fish, has to wrap it around the tree, get the leverage to pull him up, and he parades it through town. The townspeople are praising him. It's just like, hey, chip off the old block. You're just like your father. Good job. Gon reveals to his aunt that he's always known that she's been kind of lying to him and trying to deceive him, but he's not angry, and he's not so much as following in his father's footsteps to become a hunter for that reason. It's more he wants to know why the hunter exams were, or why being a hunter was so important to him that was worth abandoning his family and leaving his son to be raised by someone else. I did read the first single chapter of the manga because I don't have time to read the manga, so I'm just watching the anime when I can. But I did read the first chapter. I know of that other hunter guy who was looking for his father, and was there a rabbit? It has been a little bit of time since I started this. Life has gotten away from me. Okay, my sweet little bean with a hat full of leaves and this fishing rod. Fox bear. It's a fox bear. So yeah, he was out in the forest. Another hunter came, killed the mom, and the cub was left behind, and Gon took it upon himself to keep him, and they were friends, and then eventually, you know, king of the forest, I'll leave it to you. I'm going to take the hunter exams. So he goes, he says goodbye to everyone, and he's on the ship, and he's saying, I'm going to be a hunter, and then everyone else on the ship starts making fun of him because they're all there to take the hunter exams as well. Gon, being the sweetest little bean that he is, helps by picking up apples for this other crewmate who's getting bullied, and he's just being sweet to him and helping it where he can. And he talks to the ship captain. It's just like, I can smell a storm approaching, so we should do something about that, just so you know. During the storm, everyone gets seasick except for Gon and Kurapika and Leo. So the captain takes note of this. He is revealed to be not an examiner, but he's helping out to weed out the applicants before the hunter exams, and he's failing everyone who got seasick. And he brings the other three into his cabin, be like, tell me why you want to be hunters. Gon, the sweet little boy, tells him right away. He's too innocent and pure and trusting. Kurapika and Leo both refuse to answer, so the captain's just like, I'll fail you then. That's when he revealed who he was. And then you get their backstories for why they wanted to become hunters. Leo gets upset because he's got a stick shoved up somewhere, because Kurapika refused to call him Leo Roy-san, whatever, respect your elders, show me respect, I deserve respect. And I think insults his family, so then they have to fight. They go out on deck. They're about to duel when the guy that Gon helped earlier falls overboard, and Gon immediately jumps over the side of the deck and grabs him, and the two of them have to grab Gon's leg to bring him up, and they're like, are you insane? You both could have drowned. He's like, yeah, but you caught me. So they're all friends, sort of, friends, and they're going to get to the hunter exams together. The captain gives Gon some advice saying that go to this big tree that you see, and that's going to be how you're going to get to the hunter exams. Leo is ready to abandon everybody because, hey, I'm not going to the big tree just because some captain said so. I'm going to the bus that's taking me to the town that we know the hunter exams is in. Kurapika is just like, I'm interested in seeing what Gon's going to do, so I'm going to follow him. So Leo goes to the bus, except he overhears on the way that's actually a trap it's a very easy trap that people fall into and can't believe so many stupid people fall into it. So he's like, haha, I'm not actually going to fall for that. Let me go to the tree. On the way to the big tree, you have that old woman, like I said, giving the impossible choice, and Gon's frustration with the answer being there is no good answer and what can you possibly do. So they go there, and on the way, they find a family, husband and wife, attacked by these bug-looking monsters. So Gon and Kurapika go chase after the monster-looking things, while Leo stays to help the injured man. Gon uses fishing rod and attacks one of the bug things and drops the woman, where Kurapika stays with her, but he notices these tattoos on her arm. And then Leo shows up and is just like, hey, the husband's fine. How's the wife? So Kurapika attacks him immediately. And he turns out to be one of the bug things. It's like, how did you know it was me? And Kurapika's just like, I didn't. Leo must have abandoned an injured person that he was sent to care for. I would have killed him for it. So he's just like, well, damn. So but he has an idea of what's going on now. Gon, the sweetest little boy, is chasing after the bug guy and loses sight of him for a second. And when he regains sight, he's about to attack him, only to stop and be like, oh, I'm sorry, you're not the one I was chasing before. Who are you? What's your name? And then it's just like, what? So he can tell the difference between these two identical bug-looking monster things, and he just starts laughing. Like, I can't believe you can identify between the two of us. And it's revealed that the husband and wife are actually brother and sister who had taken on that role. And the monster-looking things were actually their parents. And I just love the fact that Gon could tell the difference between the mother and the father. And then Killua had noticed, like, the tattoos were a symbol. I can't really 100% remember. Somebody, they're not going to get married. They're staying single. Leo was ignorant to the entire thing, but he provided good medical care. So he also passes this pre-test. And they go off to the site of the Hunter exams, which is this small, inconspicuous little restaurant. Gon is upset that the password to get in was like an order, but he doesn't actually get the food. So he's upset about not getting food because it wouldn't be a shonen if the protagonist wasn't food obsessed, but he's not overly food obsessed. They go down this elevator. The guide said, hey, if you fail, I'd be happy to be your guide here again. And they're like, we're not failing. So they go in, open the doors, and it's full of people. So first they meet Tonpa, who gives them a drink that's actually laced with laxative. I did think it was poison at first. They're drinking it. Gon, the sweet darling boy that he is, little bean, he drinks it and immediately kind of spits it out, saying, it tastes, something's wrong, I think it's expired. And the other two pour it out. Then we're introduced to Killua, my sweet darling angel, who I refuse to believe this man has done anything wrong in his entire life, despite the fact I've seen him kill 3 people in the past 12 episodes. Regardless, he goes back to Tonpa saying, hey, that drink you gave me was pretty good. Can I have another? And he gives him another one. It's like, if I give him too much laxatives, he might actually be injured. Should I really give him this? Oh well. He drinks it and it's just like, oh, by the way, poison doesn't affect me. Thanks, though. And I'm just like, the boy thought it was poisoned and was okay with drinking it just to make a statement, as in, you can't touch me. I love this boy. You also got, oh, my sweet darling Nicholas. He's this chubby little guy with a computer and all his little stats, and he knows everything about the exams, and he's got all these plans, and statistically, this is how he's going to pass. He doesn't make it very far, and I'm a little bit upset about it, I gotta say. I liked him. I wanted to see more from him. We're introduced to some other characters, guy with cool eyelashes, or pretty eyelashes, and then you got the clown. I did know about the clown. I forgot to mention that in my what I knew about this. I knew he existed. I've forgotten his name. Hisoka or something like that. Let me confirm. Hisoka. Yes, Hisoka. Someone accidentally bumps into him. Doesn't say he's sorry, and I am Canadian, so yes, I understand Hisoka saying you should really apologize when you bump into somebody. But turning his arm into flowers, that was something else. So he had a creepy moment too. He said something later. We'll get to that later. And then the examiner shows up. He's a man with no mouth. And he basically just says, follow me. And he takes off running. They're all running. They got to keep up with him. Killua has his skateboard, which Leo does not like, but Gon defends, saying, we just gotta follow. We didn't say we can't use a skateboard. But Killua asks Gon how old he is. He says like 13. They're the same age. He's like, huh, I'll run with you. And they're just instantly best friends. And I love it so very much. I cannot tell you how cute they are. It is honestly adorable. So they're running. Leo is about to pass out because he's an idiot wearing a suit and tie during this run. They've been running for like 2 hours. But Gon goes back for him and doesn't even need to say anything. But just him standing there and waiting for him to get back up is enough motivation for Leo to get up and start running. He has to take off his suit and jacket just so he doesn't pass out from heat exhaustion, because I can only imagine running in a suit. Kurapika is running beside him. We get more on the backstory of his clan and their eyes, this beautiful red color that the Phantom Troop had slaughtered everybody for to get those eyes and sell them in the black market. And eventually they're running up the stairs, and Killua and Gon they make a bet, like they're going to race to the top, and first one there wins, and the loser has to buy the other lunch. And they're running, and they pass when the examiner goes through the doors, and they're like, who won? No, I won. It was me. And the examiner's just like, I think you passed at the exact same time. And Gon's just like, well, okay, I'll buy your food, and you buy my food. They're just going to treat each other to lunch. And Killua doesn't understand. He's just like, what's the point of that? And I love it so much. The examiner is going to take them through the marsh where it's all foggy and the ground's all muggy kind of thing. So it's going to make it harder to keep sight of him. And they're in this forest with animals that will attack you. And it's introduced by someone coming out saying, no, that's a man-faced ape or something like that. He's not the real examiner, I am. And Hisoka throws 2 playing cards, and the original guy that we were following to begin with was able to catch it, whereas the other one is just immediately killed and is eaten by ravens or something. And everyone's just like, what the hell? Hisoka's just like, a true hunter would have been able to catch that, so he's the real one. Yes, I acknowledge I just killed this man. What are you going to do about it? The examiner's just like, reminder that you got disqualified for trying to kill an examiner in the past. I'm going to let this one slide for your reasoning, but like, don't do this again or you're out again. And they go off running through the marsh. At one point in time, we're attacked by a turtle dinosaur hybrid with strawberries on his back that Killua stabs in the eye. My sweet being Gon and Killua, they're swallowed by the cutest little frog. And eventually Killua uses the laxative drink to have the frog cough them or spit them out. And they're running when Gon realizes that Leo and Kurapika have fallen behind. There's a group attacking Hisoka, and Hisoka immediately kills them all with the playing cards, and then he turns on Kurapika and Leo, who decide to make a run for it in opposite directions to get away from him. But Leo's like, I know this wasn't my deal, but I'm making it my problem because you just did something brutal. It's not fair. I'm going to react. I'm going to stop you. And he attacks them, immediately taken out. However, he does get in a couple punches. He does make a display of force, and Hisoka acknowledges a look in his eyes. And that's Gon attacks, and same thing. Hisoka acknowledges when he's like holding them by the throat, a look in his eye that he appreciates, respecting the power, respecting some drive within them, and lets them both live. And he takes the unconscious Leo, says, we're going to head to the exam site too. You'll get there yourself, right? And he also had this walkie-talkie where he talked to somebody saying, hey, they're almost at the second test. You better hurry up. I was like, yeah, I'm on my way. So they head off. Killua, I guess I'm not upset that he let Gon go off on his own and didn't fall behind to help, because he is trying to pass the test, and he did just meet Gon, so I'll let it slide that he went on without him. Or that he might not have even noticed that Gon snuck off when he was running ahead, because I think he was surprised when he turned around and Gon wasn't there. So yeah, we're letting it slide, the sweet darling angel. He didn't know. is very happy when Gon shows up at Site 2. He's like, hey, you actually made it. Gon's like, yeah, I followed Leo's cologne. It's very distinct. He's like, how'd you manage that? You're so weird. So they end up at Site 2. It's a cooking challenge. Wasn't the biggest fan, but it wasn't bad. They make fun of hunters who are gourmet cooks, more or less, that go into all these dangerous places to get very rare ingredients. And they're like, we'll show you what we do. So they send them out for a boar hunt, and they have to hunt these man-eating carnivorous boars, pigs. They got a weak spot in the forehead, so thankfully they were able to take them out quickly. But the catching it wasn't enough. They also have to cook it. Everyone kind of just skewers it. The second examiner is not happy with this. One of the examiners is fine. He's like, yep, it all tastes delicious. You all pass. But they need both examiners to say yes, that they pass. And the second one is just like, you all suck. This is nothing new. It's not innovative. You all fail. Despite even like trying to change the presentation, the food tastes the same. So they're like, fail, all of you. From an airship, the guy in charge, what's his name? Oh, with Nitro. He jumps down, crater, and it's just like, hey, examiner, you can't fail every single person. There was a whole thing with the Hisoka having this bloodlust when he was told he failed, and that freaking out the other examiner. But the second examiner, the smaller one, was just like, are you insane? Like, or didn't you notice that he had this bloodlust from the beginning? It's why I was so pissed off. It wasn't just that they were insulting the importance of cooking. But eventually they go to a spider egg hunt where they have to jump down a ravine, get an egg, and wait for the backdraft or the updraft to throw them back up. And I did like that moment. People fell to their deaths. Not so great because they didn't realize they had to wait for the backdraft, and Gon was the one who could sense when it was coming, so that was cute. And then they have an appreciation for how good the eggs taste. But that being said, the whole thing she was upset about was for not being inspired and trying anything new with a skewered pig, and yet all they did was boil an egg. How was that new and innovative? I don't know. Then they're up on the airship, and I think the airship might have been my favorite moment. So first you have the big nose, Tonpo guy, and he's just like, hey, be on your guard, because just because they said that they'll let us know when we land doesn't mean the third exam isn't going to happen on this ship. We could already be tested, so don't sleep. And trying to egg them on so they don't get a good night's sleep and they're not well rested for the next exam, but no one falls for it. And Gon and Killua are just exploring the airship. They're having something to eat. They get kicked out of the kitchen, and the old man boss guy ends up finding them, and he gives them a little bit of a scare in terms of, not a scare, but pushes power at them, but then disappears and reappears at the other end, and they're like, hey, how'd you do that? You were just over there. He's like, how about we go play a game? And he challenges them to get the ball away from him. Gon thinks it's going to be easy, and him and Killua are fighting him and trying to get him to get this ball away from him, but he's too fast, he's too powerful, and he's only using one hand and one foot. He's not using the other one. So when they realize this, Killua gets pissed. He's like, I'm annoyed that I can't beat you, even after using these assassin techniques, so I'm just going to leave. Gon's just like, I'm staying. I'm going to make him use his other hand. And I love that, because when he does trick him into, essentially he headbutts the man in the stomach, but he goes for it a second time, and if the man didn't relax his stomach, Gon would have cracked his head open and possibly died. But if he did relax his stomach, then the old man would take the hit, possibly get hit, possibly lose the ball. And so instead, he dodges, but to dodge, he used his other hand, the one he wasn't using. So Gon just celebrates, and is so sweet. And then he passes out. He's so exhausted. And the old man is just like, all right, airship carrier, I know we're making good time and all, but how about you slow down a little bit? This man needs to rest. He deserves a rest. And I love that moment. Killua had been talking to Gon previously about his family and everything we said before. Assassins, family business, didn't want to do it, wants to live his own life, left the family, stabbed his mother in the eye. Everyone's coming after him. He's assuming his parents are alive. But I really did like the fact that when he told Gon, yeah, my parents are assassins, Gon's reaction was, both of them? And Killua just laughs, and it's adorable. And he's like, That's the oddest reaction anyone's ever had when I told them this. Most people don't think I'm serious and going just like, I think you're serious. Why do you think that? Just a hunch. Well, that's no fun. Most of the fun is people not knowing if I'm serious or not. And it's just a sweet little moment. But he's leaving the gym area pissed off because he's saying, I would have killed the man to take the ball if I didn't leave then. And then people come, they bump into him. No one says anything. The people who bump into him are just like, hey, you should apologize for bumping into people. Killua kills them instantly. And I'm just like, this man's terrifying. They get to the third task, which might be my favorite, possibly. And they're on a big tower, and they have to get to the base of it, but they can't scale down the sides. Monsters eating people who try. They find doors on the top that they get into this hidden room, and the 4 of them come in, but they need a 5th person, so they have to wait 2 hours for someone else to find a door. And it's the Tonpa guy. And so when he comes down, they all put on the watches, and they have to choose like an X or an O to make a decision. Majority rules. They go in, and that's when you got the go left or go right. And eventually they make it to this arena with 5 prisoners. And so essentially the prisoners will get a year off their sentence for each hour they delay them, because there's a time limit to get to the bottom. So Tonpa goes first for this fight, but he immediately quits. And he's just like, I'm out. It reveals, not here to pass the hunter exams, don't care, I'm just here to screw you guys over. Also, this man would have tortured me to death and delayed it for as long as possible to get more time off their sentence. Who goes next? Killua goes next, I think. Yes. No, Gon goes next. Gon goes next, and instead of a fight, they're having a challenge with, they have candles that are going to be burning. And he has a big candle and a short candle and a long candle. Which one do you want? The winner is going to be the one whose candle burns the longest. So everyone's like, one of them must be booby-trapped. So they're trying to figure out, psychoanalyze which one will be booby-trapped. And they're like, why don't we just trust Gon's instinct? Gon, what one do you want? Well, I'll take the longer one, or the big one, because that's the one that's going to burn the longest, because it's bigger. And they're like, he's just taking it at face value. My sweet little bean. Not realizing both were trapped, and he did a switch at the end. So whatever option he made, he would have got an oil-soaked candle. So all of a sudden, candle shoots up, lots of fire, it's burning too fast, it's not going to last much longer. There's air drafts in the back, and Gon's like, oh, well, that works it well. If it's burning hard, it's not going to go out on its own. Puts the candle down, runs across the arena, blows out the other man's candle. It's just like, I win. And it's so cute. I love Gon. Next is Kurapika. And this man, love this man. He's better than Sasuke. So you have the prisoner come out, and he is a very clear blowhard, just trying to intimidate and make someone scared, but he's got no bark to his bite. And between like the threats of how many people he's killed, his looks, and he has the spider tattoo on his back that's supposed to symbolize the Phantom Troop. Kurapika is just like, this man's gotta die. So he takes him out. One punch, brutally violent and just anger and demonic face. And then he's like, I knew you weren't actually a member of the Phantom Troop. Here's some advice. 1, they have a number in the spider that's tattooed. 2, they don't keep track of how many people they killed because they would lose count. And 3, don't ever mention the Phantom Troop around me, or next time I will kill you. So he leaves, except this was supposed to be a fight to the death, and with one punch he knocked him unconscious. So they can't start the next fight until the other one dies. So they're just killing time. Leo is just like, hey, we're on a time limit. Go over there and kill that man so we can move on. Kurapika's just like, no, he lost his fighting spirit the second I had him. The fight's over. I'm not going to kill an unarmed, unconscious man. Killua is just like, I'll do it. And they're like, no, you can't interfere. He's like, all right, no big deal, but I could have. He does acknowledge, like, hey, Kurapika, you've never killed anyone before. I understand. I can do it. Like, he's somewhat kind of being respectful in terms of, you don't want to, like, I can step in for you. But then they do kind of start the third battle while that one's unconscious. So this one, a girl comes out and she's like, let's gamble. And if You say he's dead instead of alive. We'll wager 50 hours. So we'll gamble until we're out of time, and it'll be time off our sentence, or it'll be time off the time you have to complete your task. So they gamble on whether or not he's alive or dead. He turns out to be alive, just unconscious. Then they gamble on whether or not he's unconscious or faking it. It turns out he is faking it. The girl had slipped him a note saying, hey, when you regain consciousness, pretend to be out so we can still buy more time and get time off our sentence. He swallows the note. Leo threatens to knock him over the edge, saying if he's unconscious, that he'll have to wake up to save himself from falling. He's not unconscious, so that reveals that he was actually awake. Then you got the gambling on whether she's a woman. Leo says no, because that means he gets to feel her up. And then they're gambling with rock, paper, scissors, which could have been entertaining. I felt it was a little bit weird. It wasn't bad. It was a good little thing. I like when he was all flustered because she claimed she could read his mind, and then all of a sudden, for no reason other than to psych him out, wagered all her time when she only needed to wager like 10 or 20 hours because they had already been down to 10, and they would have won with just betting 10. Instead, they bet like 80, whatever it was, or 50. So he's all psyched out. Rock, paper, scissors, too hesitant to make a move. So he stuck with rock. She kept rock, saying she's psychic, so she could stall it indefinitely. But instead, she's going to win the next match. Gon shouts out because of conversations that they're having, just choose scissors because she's going to choose paper because she knows you're going to hesitate. And then Leo's just like, rock again, paper. If he had chose scissors, he would have won. Cover, lose. They, next match. So now the prisoners have won 2 to their 2. And the tiebreaker comes with Killua, so he goes out, and the last one comes out, and Leo recognizes him as this brutal, evil mass murderer. Killed women, children, men, violent, bare hands, brutal. He's just like, Killua, walk away. We can take the exams another time. Don't do this. He's the mass murderer's psyching him up, like he's destroying the sides of the arena. He's saying how all he wants to do is hear you scream. He's going to kill you. That's all he wants. He doesn't care about time off sentence. He just wants to kill you. And Killua's just like, all right, so we fight to the death. And he goes across, and before this man even finishes his sentence, Killua has ripped out his heart, put it in a little baggie, and the buddy doesn't even realize he's dead as he's falling, asking for his heart back. And then he collapses, and Killua just puts the heart in the bag in his hand. And it's just like, we're done. And then he goes across. And then, while I'm complaining about Leo now, there were 2 instances. First, he's scared of Killua. So, fair. Or, sorry, no, Killua. Scared of him. Fair. That's fine. You just saw him rip man's heart out and learned that he's from a family of assassins. Okay, you're allowed to be scared of my sweet darling angel. But then previously with Kurapika saying, like, even if I seen a regular spider, it would probably set me into a murderous rage. He's like, you just killed a man, freaked out. Like, should we be around you? Are you safe? I'm like, excuse you, sir. He's your friend. Respect the fact that sometimes he goes into a demon anger rage. Regardless, now they're in a room that they have to wait for 50 hours before they can leave because gambled away their time and lost it. And I can't even complain. I can't even complain because my sweet darling boys, Gon is learning how to skateboard and Killua is learning how to fish. At one point in time, they have a pillow fight because Killua, the murderous little assassin boy that he is, my darling angel, it just wants to be a kid, and they're having fun, and they're having a pillow fight, and it's so cute. And they're just kind of bonding, they're kind of keeping to themselves, and it's adorable. Leo, sleeping, being a jerk, don't even care about him. I'm being unnecessarily harsh to this man. I'm aware of that. Hopefully I learn to like him in the future. And eventually it is time to go, and they're racing. We get a little flashes of other challenges, but they make it to the last room, and it's a 2 paths. You can either go through the long path and all of you can get through, or the short path, only 3 of you can get through, and it takes, it's like 4 minutes or something like that. And they've only got like 5 minutes left on the clock, cause wasted 50 hours. Leo, the idiot, jerk, selfish man, who is just like, I'm going to be the one who gets through. I don't care about the rest of you. Killua, yes, is like, hey, I'm getting through. I want the other one to be gone. Don't really care about the rest of you. I'm like my sweet baby angel. Tompa grabs an axe, starts fighting. Gon realizes that they're damaging the wall, and they're like, hey, what if we say we're going through the long path and then tunnel into the short path? And they're like, let's do that. So that's what they do, and they all make it there in time. We see the other characters who also made it in time, including the clown, Hisoka, and he had just killed one of the examiners, the same one he scarred the last time he was in. And he had done it by catching these knives that the other hunter was just like, I spent years learning to catch those knives, and you did it in seconds. Killed him, decapitation. And so we're all there, ready to go to the 4th exam. So far, really, really loving this. Plot-wise, again, I just feel it's a little early for a tournament arc. I don't know why, I just do. I don't like them to be like the first arc. I like them to be the second. But that's just me. I'm clearly loving these characters. Gon and Killua. Love them very much. Power-wise, I haven't seen too much of what the powers in this world are yet, I'm realizing. I'm hoping Gon keeps his fishing rod to fight with, because that's just unique and cute. That's all I got so far. So first impressions are good. I'm hooked. I'm excited to see what happens next. And I will check in when I finish this first arc.
Editing Jessica here. The idea was to incorporate some live reaction clips into the review. However, it didn't overly work out. So instead, see them here at the end.
Little check-in. I'm pretty sure I have been told that Sasuke Uchiha was heavily inspired by one of the characters from Hunter x Hunter, and I think I just met him. This man's 10,000 times better than Sasuke, and he hasn't even done anything yet. This entire, I don't know what the hell to call this review type, or vlog, is going to be 90% Sasuke slander, I'm sure of it. Definitely knew of the jester-looking guy. Don't remember his name at this particular second, but I see him standing right there. I forgot he was in this anime. Have been warned about him. And he just turned somebody into, what, flowers? Petal? I don't know what he just turned them into for touching him. Was not properly warned about this guy. Confirmed. Flower petals. I mean, he has a point. If you bump into someone, you're supposed to apologize. I mean, that might be the Canadian in me, but I also wouldn't turn somebody into flower petals if I had that power. And number 16 just said the psychopath is back again. So, yeah, psychopath. Do not accept food from strangers that are taking an exam where a certain number of people... Why are you taking drinks from this man? Yeah, clearly playing the nice guy, and they're laughing at these people taking the drinks. Why are they idiots? Okay, at least it's a laxative and not poison, so he's not the worst thing in the world, but I expect it more from, was it Kurapika and Leo? Gon, I understand why he would accept the drink. And Gon was the one to figure out that it had the laxative in it. Way to go, Gon. Red Scarf Ninja guy got some brains. Don't accept drinks from that someone offers you. It's the white-haired one. He's got a skateboard. He's adorable already. Going to learn his name. Love this man. Thought it was poison. And to show off, just drank another can in front of this man. As if saying, the poison's not going to affect me. So I'm just going to drink another one. I love him. Killua. I'm not going to like pronouncing that. Would fail this test in a heartbeat. It's reminding me where you gotta run in gym class, and that's a hard no. It's a hard no. I like this Nicholas guy with his little laptop and stats. He's very cute. No. Alright, Killua just got off his skateboard so he could run next to Gon, because I guess they're the same age, and he appreciates that, and Gon was like, oh, that's so cool, the little kicky flip thing you just did and caught your board. You're so cool, and it's really cute. I like them already. Oh no, my little Nicholas guy with his computer, he's tiring out. I think he underestimated how long this would go for. 4 hours! I'd be dead. I can't run for 20 minutes. I can't run for 10 minutes. This man is running in a suit. That is not appropriate. Put this jacket in your briefcase. Okay, Gollum the sweet boy just stopped so Leo would have motivation to keep running and keep moving. And Killua is just impressed by his little fishing rod, and it's so cute. And this man picks up the pace going upstairs. Evil. See how much better you can do when you take off the jacket? Why are there floating strawberries? Why is there a dinosaur strawberry turtle? Claymore mushrooms. Okay, so mushrooms just sprouted on people whose spores they got landed on. Yep, that's a thing. Watch Claymore. That was half decent anime. Oh, the babies fell down. Is that a frog? Frog in waiting, yes. As a cute frog. Leo is up with the dinosaur. Where he got the big stick, I do not know. Karate Cat once again showing that he's better than Sasuke and stabbing the dinosaur turtle strawberry monster in the eye. Sorry, it's a very cute frog. The baby's made the froggy sick. Killua poisoned the frog. Okay, I'm pretty sure I'm not supposed to like the clown. However, I am partial to people killing people with a deck of cards, so, or a single card in this instance. So there's that. That's pretty cool. You can tell it's a shonen, though. There's no blood on the card. Killua lost Gon. Gon didn't go with him? I know he looked away, but I feel cute little blonde or white-haired one would have noticed. Oh, he's gone to help his friends. Okay. That's fine. Running away is always a very good plan. Coming back after running away is not a good plan. And the sweet darling angel comes to save the day. Is the little white-haired one going to come help too? He's got the baby boy by the neck. That just creepy expression. Alright, I'm calling it now. Is this guy like the equivalent of to Usopp where he's trying to bluff his way out of a fight? That is my guess. Killua saying, as far as I can tell, this guy's just a blowhard who doesn't have the guts to hit anyone, let alone kill anyone. I called it. Spider. Oh, the Phantom Troop. Okay. Convenient that he's going to be fighting him. Is Buddy going to die? Or is Buddy going to be tortured for information? Oh, is it a fake? He's not actually a member of the troop? Oh, I love his eyes. Oh, I love this man. Lifting him by the chin like nothing off the ground. Oh, he's not going to let you surrender. And we're not going to get a big long monologue about the death of the clan. Oh, so much better than Sasuke. Is he going to lose points for hitting him because he surrendered? I think Golan's just more upset. His friend's upset. Did Leo really just ask, is it safe for us to stand near you? He better have, meant, are you in control of yourself? Not, hey, all of a sudden I think you're dangerous. Okay, so don't show this man a spider. We should keep Kurapika away from spiders. Love Golan. That's what he took away from this. I don't like Leo. He's the only one raising his hand to vote for Kurapika to kill Buddy. It's the clown. Did he kill his teammates? Oh, I thought he stabbed the clown guy, but he caught up. Okay, so the clown passes first. I'm going to assume he didn't have a team. They're still waiting for him to wake up. Can you throw some water on him? Does anyone have water? Did anyone try shaking him? Several hours and he hasn't moved an inch. Make a bet. Leo, shut up. If he's actually unconscious, he'll fall to his death. Okay, Leo, that's actually not bad. Bet on whether they're a man or a woman. That is really hard in anime sometimes, so just watching this hurts. I love you, Kurapika. Thank you. I'm not gonna lie, started off good. That was kind of stupid. Last round. Alright, Killua. What'd he say?
If it's something like mental math, I'm surrendering. Kilo, I thought you were a little bit smart. That being said, smart doesn't mean good at math, so. Alright, the other prisoners are really scared of this guy. And the coward is approaching. And just got put through a wall. He looks like the buddy from the 7 Deadly Sins. 968 year sentence for mass murderer. Leo's just like, quit. Walk away. There's next year. Kilo's bored. Okay, my sweet little boy, what are you gonna do? Is he doing a speed thingy? Did he rip out his heart and then put it in a bag? Did he have a bag already prepared to put said heart in? You can't live this long without a heart. Put it in his hands. That's 3 wins, 2 losses. We pass, right? Yeah, you win. They gotta actually wait for 50 hours. Oh, bored am I. Do they get snacks? Okay, there's a fridge. They're good. Can you tell me the technique you used to rip out that man's heart? There was no technique. I just ripped it out. And then he goes right back to being all cute. And they're just gonna go play. But he had a point. Leo kind of sucks. And is bad at gambling. And is a bit perverted. Cone's a bad skateboarder. Sin. That being said, I can't stand on a skateboard. I've tried. I can stand, I just can't turn. Oh crap, I gotta go work tomorrow. And it's 12 o'clock. Alright, finish this episode. And he's teaching them to fish. Well, everyone else is stuck in a very boring room until the time runs out, I guess. So, these guys at least got TV and books. I hate Leo. Can we go around the door? Dig through the bricks? Use the weapons to fight the bricks? Cone's the best boy.